Alright, so in this video I'm going to be talking about confirming a college kind of once you've been accepted. So some of the topics I'm going to discuss are deciding which school is right for you. This is if you've been accepted into a couple schools and you're still trying to figure out which one. How to actually declare that choice, so officially confirm to a college. A few things about financial aid and what the next steps there are. Student housing, both if you want to live in a dorm on campus or off campus. And then finally, orientation and what that looks like. So first, I'm going to talk briefly about choosing a school, which may seem like a hard decision, but really there's not a wrong choice here, and it's not the end of the world because you make your college experience, and it's about the people you meet and the experiences you have. So the first step, I'd say, is to narrow down the list of choices only to the ones that really stand out to you. So this might involve knocking off a couple of schools that you just applied to apply to but don't actually want to go to. Second is creating a list of things that are important to you in your college experience and trying to figure out which of these are more important and less important. That way you can match them to the schools that you're narrowed it down to. Third, importantly, is financial costs. This doesn't have to be the only reason you make a choice, and a little bit of debt is manageable as long as it means having a good college experience, but it still is important to make sure you're not burdening yourself too much. And finally, which one feels right? If you've visited a campus, did it stand out to you? There's no calculation that'll give you the best school, and you have to trust your gut here. Alright, so let's say you know which school you want to go to. Now what? So one of the first things you want to do is let the other schools know that you're choosing not to attend. This is usually done either by emailing the admissions office, or they might have a specific form that you fill out to reject an offer. And it's important to do this because it helps others who are on a wait list make sure that they get in a more timely manner. And then second, the exciting part is confirming admission for your choice school. You should have gotten instructions on how to do this in your acceptance letter. And some colleges require that you pay a fee in order to confirm, but be sure you check with either the admissions officer or me to make sure that you can't get a fee waiver for that. Alright, next I'm going to talk about financial aid. So the first step, always the most important step, is to fill out the FAFSA. If you don't do this, then you will not be eligible and not be on the lists to receive grants and scholarships from the schools that you applied to. So that's always the first step, is fill out the FAFSA. And once you get accepted into a school, then soon after you'll receive a financial aid award letter. So you'll either receive this as an email or in your student account. So the first section I'm going to talk about is grants and scholarships. This is free money, and you should accept all of this. Then you have federal loans. There's subsidized loans, which means that you don't pay interest on them throughout your time at school, and unsubsidized loans, which means you do pay interest on them. You want to accept subsidized loans first because it's less money that you have to pay. So, looking at the estimated cost of attendance, this is going to be your tuition plus your room and board and books and supplies, basically the total cost of going to school. The importance of this is that when you match up your financial aid and your estimated cost of attendance, you get a good idea of whether or not you need to take out loans and how much you might have to pay via jobs or out of pocket. Next is going to be figuring out housing. So if you're not planning on living on campus as a freshman, you might have to fill out something, some kind of form to indicate that. However, if you're going to a branch campus such as UC Blue Ash or OSU Newark, you don't have to worry about that because they actually don't have dorms to start with. If you are in need of housing or looking for housing, after you accept, you should keep an eye out for an email about how to register or apply for housing. Now, there's a couple things that you should definitely consider when thinking about which dorm or student living you're going to choose. The first one is obviously the cost of the different dorms and housing options. This actually does vary quite a bit from dorm to dorm, so don't think that they're all the same. A second thing you might want to do is check to see if there's anyone you know or any online threads that talk about the different options. This might be good insider information when choosing a dorm. And third, just make sure that you check deadlines and make sure you apply on time or as soon as possible so that you can get your first or second choice. And finally, the last thing that you'll do before attending college is orientation. So one note is that many of these may have been switched to online because of COVID-19. So be sure to check with either me or the admissions office to see how your orientation is going to happen. So you should get an email from the school about orientation a little bit after you confirm. And usually what orientation does is it opens the ability to register for classes during the fall semester. So you will not be able to choose your classes until you attend an orientation. Another good thing that you can do, and just a best practice, is write down any questions you have. This will be a time where there's a bunch of experts about the school you're going to that are going to be there willing to answer questions for you. I hope this video helped out a little. As usual, the sooner that you get everything done, the better. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here for you, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.